All right, hello and welcome. This is Mike with Inbound Service Leads. And today I want to talk with you about the top 5 things your service-based business can do starting today, literally today, to close more leads into becoming your best customers. Now, many of the strategies I'm going to talk about today have nothing to do with digital marketing or online marketing. They're simply about business growth. Now, some of them do, but these are going to be the things that we have found have had the greatest impact on turning people who are interested in, potentially working with you, actually turning them into customers and revenue for your business. Okay. So we're going to talk about those. And then after I go through the 5 core ones, there were a few things as I was kind of working through this, there were a few things that I absolutely positively felt I needed to share with you. So they wouldn't make the top 5 list, but they have to be mentioned. So there's going to be 2 bonus bits at the end of this video. So I encourage you to stick around for them. The very last one I share is the one that we see. It does relate to digital marketing, but it's the one simple thing we see contractors implement in their digital marketing campaigns that has the greatest impact on their results. So stick around and I'll share that one with you. But for now, let's get started with the first thing that you can do starting today to turn more leads into becoming your best customers. And number 1 is simply to answer the phone 100% of the time. You need to make sure that you have someone answering the phones and turning those inbound inquiries into appointments and quote requests. So granted, you have your in-house team doing it during normal business hours, but even after hours, you could potentially hire an answering service, or you could just have, your own team members that work on rotating schedules. But I would recommend that you make sure you have somebody on those phones answering them 100% of the times. Now, many times the call volume during after hours is going to be very low. So that's why we typically recommend using like a third-party answering service that is able to get educated and trained in your business so they know how to handle some common questions, but they also know what not to answer and how to simply take the person's information so that your in-house team can follow up with them in the morning, okay? Most people won't leave a message, right? If you have a prospect that calls, most people won't leave a message. And if you do miss someone, right? They call, you miss them for one reason or another, and they leave a message, you need to call them back as soon as possible. If you wait or it takes you a long time to get back to them, they will find another contractor to work with and you've lost that opportunity, okay? And here's a little bonus tip. Like this one's super important. You need to audit your calls to make sure that your front desk team isn't killing your chances to win the job. We see this all the time. You need to train your front people on how to handle things like price inquiries. You don't ever want to give an estimate on an initial call, right? You want to more so when somebody asks about price, you want to use that as an opportunity to talk about the value of having an on-site evaluation, explain what makes your process different, and you should actually have a process. You need to make sure you have a process there. So you need to make sure that you're auditing the calls and then working with your team to help them better convert those inbound inquiries into appointments. Here's the deal, like focus on improving this one simple aspect of your business and you can literally convert 20 to 30% more inbound inquiries into quote requests and then ultimately into customers. And as a side note, we do have a call tracking recording software that makes it easy for you to kind of assess the front desk team and to help coach them to get better at converting calls into appointments. Your front desk staff is a critical part of your sales team and a lot of business owners overlook that. And you should make sure that they understand that as well. Now, most receptionists don't realize what's involved and how much marketing, effort, and expense goes into generating those inbound inquiries. And that's on you as the business owner to make sure that they are aware and then to coach and help them to improve the call handling, okay? So that's number 1. Number 2 is don't assume that the prospect knows what makes you better. Many times a prospect will be calling more than one contractor, so they can get some competitive quotes. Now, our contractors most often prefer to be the best in the business, not the cheapest. So they focus on quality workmanship over price. And now this puts the responsibility of making price a non-determining factor when prospects are sizing you up against your competition. So our belief is that you're better off being one of the more expensive providers in your market. And that means in doing that, it means you never have to cut corners on projects or compromise on quality. Our contractors are in this for the long haul, and you really can't grow a business doing subpar work. So you need to be able to educate the prospects on why they shouldn't be making decisions based on price alone, right? So you need to educate them on what makes you what things you do differently, what makes you better, and also on what corners other contractors may cut that will allow them to provide a cheaper price, and why that is not in that prospect's best interest. Okay, it's simply going to lead to future headaches and frustration for the client. So really, really important that you educate them on that. Remember, the client most likely knows very little about what a good job looks like. So take the time to educate them. Your competitors won't do this in many cases, and I can tell you how the prospect feels about you and your business will trump any price difference when they go to award the job. So make sure they know you're in their corner, right? And you're looking out for their best interest. You'll notice that we take an education-based approach with our business as well, and we provide believe in providing long-term value before we start working with many of our clients. It's part of the reasons why many of our clients have been working with us for 8, 9+ years, because we literally do care about the results, and they know that we're in this together. They know it, they feel it. So do the same in your business, right? Just don't assume that they know what makes you better, and explain it to them in a very clear, simple, concise manner. You don't need to go overboard on this, but make sure they know what makes you better, and that they can pretty much, not use price as the determining factor for who they're going to award the job to. Okay. So next up, that brings us to number 3, which is uncovering the emotional aspects of the job. Now, this is a big one. You need to take the time to uncover how the prospect feels about the work. Why are they calling you? What keeps them up at night about this? Or what pain, has this job created in their lives? And more importantly, how can you help them alleviate that pain? Or, on the other side, what are they excited about with this project? Have they been saying for years that they're going to be doing this, and they've had visions of it, they've been saving up, and it's really a dream of theirs? And if so, let them know that you understand and get the importance of this project. In either case, you need to be empathetic. And we recommend sharing stories of similar situations where you've worked with other customers in kind of the same scenario, right? Let them know that you understand and relate with them, and share the results of other customers you've worked with through this similar process, and let them know about the outcomes those projects had on an emotional basis, okay? Get them envisioning the same results for themselves. And given that kind of leads us to the next kind of related point, which is number 4. Listen and let the prospect know you heard and understand them completely, okay? And you can do this a bunch of ways. One way that works very well is to basically repeat back what they said to them, right? Now, this seems simple, but we've witnessed many contractors who just show up, deliver the pitch, and are only focused on what they need to say, right? They may ask some questions, but they're only half-hearted listening, and they're not digging deep into those emotional aspects of the job, right? This often happens a lot when estimators are out on the job and they're just busy, but it's really not a great experience for the customer, and it's not going to, make that customer choose you over the competition. The prospect really just wants to know that you've heard them and that you're taking into account what they're sharing. This should seem like a no-brainer, and it should be very common, but I will say what's not so common is to literally use what the prospect said to you in your conversation when you were on site, and to actually use that in your response to them, and even in your proposals to them when you prepare the work. So work back in the specifics of the project that they requested or mentioned word for word in your proposal. So those little things that they told you, those things that were related to how they're feeling about it and what they actually want from it, and the experience, right? So use back as much of what they have said to you as you can. Use that back in the proposals that you're sending them, okay? Really, really important. And don't assume that the prospect knows you're listening, okay? You need to repeat back to them what you heard and understood. Make sure that they can feel you're actually trying to make sure you're both 100% aligned and on the same page, okay? This goes a long ways towards winning the job. And speaking of winning the job, number 5 here is to set clear expectations and outline your process for them when they become a customer, okay? Future pace, and get them envisioning that you're already working together. Now, this is another one that seems obvious, but I see very few contractors leveraging this. You need to walk them through exactly what happens when they choose you, okay? Let them know you have a process, and get them envision working with you. Get them seeing it in their own minds as you're talking with them. As you explain the process, 2 things happen. First, they realize you've done this a time or two, right? And you're prepared to deal with things in a streamlined manner. Now, remember, one of the prospect's biggest fears is often built around like horror stories that they've heard from family and friends who have had similar work done and the experience has been like terrible. So they start building these stories in their head. But your job is to get them changing their vision of how the project will go if they choose to work with you. Get them envisioning a smooth, well-defined timeline on the project. And that type of pre-framing is going to certainly lead to higher close rates for you, and it will set you apart from other contractors that they may be speaking with, who aren't talking about a process, who aren't future pacing with them, who aren't getting them to envision working with them and the great experience and outcome that they're going to have. Okay, it's very, very important. Okay, so that's 5. But like I said, I want to share just 2 more critical points with you, and we'll just call these bonus points 1 and 2. They're literally game changers for most contractors. So first, bonus 1, you need to get and leverage online reviews and use them everywhere. Think about your own buying behavior. What is one of the first things you do when you go and buy anything online? You go look at what other people have said, right? So it's a fact that your prospects are more likely to call you and then to choose you for their project if you have more and better reviews than your competitors. On the other hand, if you have only a few reviews or worse, negative reviews online, then you most likely won't even get a call, okay? You won't get a chance to win that job at all. You don't even get to get in the ring and fight for it, right? So getting reviews isn't as hard as you probably think. You just have to ask your happy customers for them and then make it really easy for them to leave one. That's one of the challenges, is it's often not as easy as it should be to go leave a review, right? So, but this is super important, right? Your best customers will base their decision to work with you based on what others are already saying about you online, okay? So focus on this, please. It's really, really important. Now, we do have tools to help you accelerate this activity. So if you're interested, feel free to book a call with a member of our team. But no matter what, start asking for reviews from your happy customers today. And then tell them how to go leave a review for you online in a very simple and clear manner, okay? And that brings us to the last point in this video, which is, in my opinion, one of the most important things you can start doing today to help improve the results you're getting, right? And convert more leads into customers. So, and that is remarketing. Now, remarketing is a must. I'm going to say don't skip this step. It's the easiest way to turn looky-loos into quote requests and then to turn those quote requests into customers. Don't skip this step, okay? Now, so when a prospect sees your business online, they may or may not be in a place where they can take action on it, like meaning they may not be able to or want to even call you at that exact moment in time. If you don't remarket to them, then they most likely will forget all about you, and the next time they do a search, they'll call the first person that comes up, right? So, but with remarketing, you can continue to show up everywhere and every time those prospects are online. And by staying top of mind, you're building the credibility of your business. You appear to be a large, well-established business, and you get the opportunity to show additional content and ads that highlight more of the reasons why you're the best choice to help them with their next project. Now, we see sophisticated remarketing campaigns often 2 to 3 times the results that clients are getting from existing core marketing strategies. It's literally the fastest way I know of to immediately and substantially increase the results of any online marketing campaign. So if you're interested in learning more about the inbound service lead system and how our exclusive inbound leads program can help you grow your business, then book a time to chat with a member of our team. There should be a button or a link somewhere around this video. It's free, and we'd love to see if we might be a good fit to work together. We call it our discovery call, right? And no matter what, I hope you found this video useful, the content that was provided, and that you will implement some of these strategies and start seeing some of the results from yourself. Don't dismiss the simplicity of these tactics, because they work, and we see when they're implemented and focused on, they will have a dramatic impact in your business, okay? Anyway, I hope this training has been helpful. I look forward to seeing you in a future training. This is Mike, and I'm out.